Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Vimoh Live. It's a podcast that happens on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 9:30 p.m. on YouTube and Twitch. Today is November 12th, Saturday. It's 9:30, and today we have a chill episode because we are talking not about our usual topics. We're talking about a creator-owned animation show project that is upcoming, and you have already heard from one of the creators, which is Sumit Kumar of Buckermax fame. He was a guest on the show some months ago. He and Adhiraj Singh, both of whom are creators of the show, are here to talk about the show and about certain adjacent topics such as the animation scene in India and things like that. So, before I bring them on screen, I would like to introduce you to their project, which I hope it plays. Hold on, it's here.
हमें पता है तुम क्या सोच रहे हो।
यही सोच रहे हो ना कि इंडिया में रिक एंड मॉर्टी, बोजैक हॉर्समैन जैसे शोज क्यों नहीं बनते।
साली इंडिया वालों को तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है ना।
यही सोच तो बदलनी है।
पट्टे
नहीं, मैं तो ये सोच रहा था तुम लोग हो कौन।
नमस्ते, मेरा नाम है सुमित कुमार, कार्टूनिस्ट एंड फाउंडर ऑफ बकरमैक्स।
अरे आप वही हो ना जो अपने जोक्स पे खुद लेट लेट के हंसते हो।
और मैं हूं अधिराज, राइटर एंड पार्टनर एट बकरमैक्स, और हम दोनों बना रहे हैं एक एनिमेटेड शो
जिसका नाम है आपकी पूजिता। भारत का सबसे लंबा चलने वाला टीवी सीरियल।
नमस्ते, मैं हूँ पूजिता और ये है मेरा परिवार, इंडिया की फेवरेट टीवी फैमिली। मैंने अपनी पूरी जिंदगी आपके साथ और आपके लिए जी है, और अब हम
कैंसिल हो गए हैं पूजितेश। चलो चलो बाय बाय, सी यू सूनिश, बाय बाय बाय।
इट फर्स्ट स्टार्टेड एज अ कॉमिक
एंड देन वी मेड अ पायलट, मतलब एपिसोड 1 खुद के पैसे से, एंड वी पुट इट ऑन यूट्यूब वेयर इट गॉट अ थंडरिंग रिस्पॉन्स।
और फिर एक दिन हमें कॉल आया डिज्नी प्लस हॉटस्टार का। वी वर दिस क्लोज टू गेटिंग अ ग्रीन लाइट। साल था 2020
एंड 2020 में हम सबको पता है क्या हुआ। कोविड।
पर अब और कुछ नहीं हो सकता क्या?
हो सकता है अगर आप चाहें तो।
हमारे पास सब कुछ तैयार है, स्क्रिप्ट्स, सीजन आर्क, एनिमेटिक, स्टोरी बोर्ड, कैरेक्टर डिज़ाइन, सब कुछ। सीधी सी बात है, हमें आपकी पूजिता का एक पूरा सीज़न बनाना है। 6 एपिसोड्स, 6 मिनट के, बस।
So this is what you need to do. Support us on Kickstarter in any way you can. Chota, bada, आधा पौना, any small amount that you can contribute will go a long way in bringing Pujita to life.
और हर कंट्रीब्यूटर को एक से एक रिवॉर्ड्स मिलेंगे। सबके लिए जो कंट्रीब्यूट करेंगे, एक्सक्लूसिव स्क्रीनिंग, आर्ट ऑफ बुक, आपके यार, प्यार या रिश्तेदार, इवन आपको हम एक एनिमेटेड कैरेक्टर बना के इस शो में डाल सकते हैं। एक से एक रिवॉर्ड्स हैं, आप जाके चेक तो करो।
Remember, Kickstarter is all or nothing. You won't be charged until our final goal is met, and we have 30 days to do that.
करो ना यार इन्हें सपोर्ट। अगर कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं कर सकते तो अपनी फ्रेंड्स, फैमिली या सोशल मीडिया पे ही शेयर कर दो। इनको शो बनाने में बहुत हेल्प मिलेगी।
एंड दोस्तों, सीरियसली थैंक यू इन एडवांस फॉर हेल्पिंग अस मेक दिस शो। याद रखना, ये सिर्फ हमारी नहीं, आपकी पूजिता भी है।
Visit aapkipujita.com and help us ignite the spark for animation for grown-ups in India.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू स्वीट पूजी के गुड हैबिट्स।
Be off air. So that was the trailer for the project, and my mic was off for a second. I'm sorry. We will now resume talking with the creators of the show. But before that, I'll remind everyone that the link to their Kickstarter is pinned to the top of the chat. So if anyone of you has not yet supported the project, you can click that link, go to the Kickstarter page, and support the project. They're at the 50% mark right now. and I hope that this at least takes them a little further ahead. So, without much further ado, here is Adhiraj Singh and Sumit Kumar. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
So, this is a 6 episode thing only.
So the Kickstarter is for a very chota, very uh, YouTube friendly
Hmm.
pilot project. 6 episodes of 10 minutes each.
Hmm.
Sumit, do you wanna talk about that also?
So, the idea is basically the pilot we have done, which is already on YouTube, is around 8 minutes long. So the idea is something between 6 to 8, 10 minutes or something like that. Officially, we've said 6 episodes of 6 minutes each, and
Six.
the idea is that if we do get funded, and it
Hmm.
reaches a point which means we have to introduce stretch goals, मतलब कि और 100% के बियॉन्ड, तो उसका और
Hmm.
मतलब है कि वी कैन इंक्रीज ड्यूरेशन, हम और एपिसोड ऐड कर सकते हैं, तो काफ़ी कुछ कर सकते हैं क्योंकि हमारे पास जो ऑलरेडी लिखा हुआ मटेरियल है वो एक 13 एपिसोड सीजन आर्क का है जो ओरिजिनली हमने हॉटस्टार के लिए लिखा था.
Right. But so this show is based on the script जो आपने लिखी हॉटस्टार के लिए, उसके ऊपर बेस्ड है? Or is this based on the original web comic?
So it's all one मतलब the original web comic का जो story or plot है, I'm not even talking about the basic premise of it. The
Hmm.
story also is still very close to what we have now, and that's still the story that we want to tell. But it is different enough for it to be a unique piece, like a brand new piece of story
Okay.
than what the Hotstar ka pilots, the first episode ka pilot script, which we have the full half an hour
Hmm.
beat, half an hour minute का जो proper
Hmm.
pilot का जो screenplay है and the full season arc, ये उससे मतलब inspired, मतलब close enough है कि it's the same basic story. Pujita gets cancelled, उसका परिवार बाहर आता है, they have to
हाँ,
move
हाँ,
to
हाँ. Yeah.
greater कंगलापुरी extension, and वहाँ पे जो भी
So
adventure.
जब ये
So
कंप्लीट हो जाएगा ये रिलीज यूट्यूब पे होगा? ओके.
तो
सो
उसमें
यूट्यूब के
एक्चुअली
अलावा
एक
कहीं और लॉन्च करने का प्लान है क्या?
सो एज ऑफ नाउ अभी द फोकस इज ऑन मेकिंग इट. तो
हाँ.
एक बार जब बन के रेडी होगा तो मे बी अगर उस टाइम पे कोई इंटरेस्टेड है और उस टाइम पे अगर पॉसिबिलिटी है कुछ और करने की तो मतलब देन वील अप्रोच दोज डायरेक्शंस, बट एज ऑफ नाउ
हुँ.
द प्लान इज के हाँ अगर बन के यूट्यूब इज ऑल्सो इक्वली गुड फॉर अस.
तो मैं इसलिए पूछ रहा
बिकॉज
था क्योंकि प्राइम वीडियो पे छोटा भीम अवेलेबल है.
प्राइम वीडियो इज द होम टू ऑलमोस्ट
प्राइम
आई थिंक.
वीडियो पे
एवरीथिंग.
छोटा सिंघम भी है, बाय द वे, छोटा
हाँ, 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 हाँ. आई थिंक प्राइम
इट्स नॉट
वीडियो
जस्ट
इतना ज़्यादा. हाँ, बोलिए सुमित.
I'm saying not just Chota Singham, like almost if you go and dig into, it has almost the most every possible third class kind of बच्चों की animation is on Prime.
हुँ.
So it's the hot destination if you want to show your children colors and they get hypnotized उसमें, and parents को अगर sex करना है पीछे तो best जगह है Prime Video.
सेक्स से याद आया, यू आर कॉलिंग दिस एन एडल्ट एनिमेशन थिंग. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय एडल्ट एनिमेशन एग्ज़ैक्टली?
Adhiraj.
adult animation, only adults will be able to appreciate what the word adult really means ना. आप जब अडल्ट होने वाले होते हो, आपको जो लगता है कि हाँ हाँ 18 के हो गए,
हाँ,
तब आप अडल्ट नहीं हो. आप
हाँ,
25 26 30 के पास आते आते फाइनली अडल्ट होते हो, फिर समझ में आता है कि असली में अडल्ट का मतलब क्या होता है. सेक्स
हाँ,
तो 14-15 साल में भी लोग कर लेते हैं या करवाया जाता है अगर आप की सिचुएशन बहुत खराब हो. मगर राइट, असली चीजें जो होती है अडल्ट वाली, सुबह उठ के नौकरी पे जाना, और मतलब
हुँ,
जाना क्योंकि आप चाहते हो, नॉट क्योंकि होमवर्क नहीं करोगे तो मार पड़ेगी. अगर होता है कि नहीं, ये नहीं
हुँ,
करूंगा तो पैसे नहीं आएंगे, पैसे नहीं आएंगे तो ये नहीं होगा, ये नहीं होगा तो वहां नहीं जा पाऊंगा, वहां नहीं जा पाऊंगा तो खुदकुशी भी नहीं कर पाऊंगा. राइट, ये सब चीजें जो होती है, ये
गॉट
सब
इट.
का जो डिपिक्शन है, इसको हम अडल्ट एनिमेशन बुला बुला
हुँ,
रहे हैं. कोई सेफ्टी नेट नहीं है, बेसिकली जो होगा वो इसी पे ही होगा. That's the
ओके.
fundamental nature of being an adult.
सो
Yes.
मुझे याद है
Uh,
आपकी पूजिता को. हाँ सुमित.
उसमें बेसिकली सो व्हाट सो एडल्ट की समरी हमारे लिए ये है, राइट, व्हाट अधिराज हैज सेड. एडल्ट एनिमेशन को लार्जली देखें तो एडल्ट एनिमेशन ने इन ग्लोबली उसने प्राइम टाइम को रिप्लेस कर दिया कि मतलब सारे प्राइम टाइम शोज एडल्ट एनिमेशन में है. तो हमारे मतलब इतना बड़ा हो चुका है अब उस पे इंडस्ट्री रिपोर्ट्स आती हैं. टून बूम एक इंडस्ट्री सॉफ्टवेयर है, उसने 2 साल पहले पूरी एक रिपोर्ट निकाली है कि 2021-22 के अक्रॉस 104 शोज आने वाले हैं, राइट.
Across the
एंड
world.
मोस्टली दिस इज वेस्टर्न टेरिटरीज एंड सारे
अच्छा.
शोज अगर जो बन रहे हैं
इंग्लिश
English language, and most of
Hmm.
the shows जो बन रहे हैं they're using the same talent pool between Canada and Burbank, to the point it has reached that level of madness that if you see each creator has 3 shows. So if you look at Rick and Morty style, there are 3 shows in that style. You look at any style, there are multiple shows in that style. So utna, this is a massive industry basically,
Hmm.
and which sort of preaches the meaning of adult, which Adhiraj has sort of described.
Okay. Okay. But I suppose, see, the reason I asked is because मुझे याद है मैंने आपकी पूजता का वेब कॉमिक जब पढ़ा था, और मैंने आपका जो एनिमेटेड वर्जन है वो भी देखा था, बट मुझे उसका ज़्यादा याद नहीं, मुझे कॉमिक का ज़्यादा याद है. When you say adult, you mean you are focusing on issues that adults are more aware of? Like, is it going to be some kind of social commentary on contemporary, issues, how do I put it, current affairs issues and stuff? Or is it going to be so many layers below the humor that it's going to take a really adult person to appreciate?
We would say that it's something that an adult can appreciate more, but it's not something that anyone who is below a certain age will not be able to get anything
Okay.
out of.
Okay.
The difference with, I mean, the reason we say we were making jokes about Chota Bheem and Chota Singham or Bahubali Junior, जो भी आ रहा है उनका,
हाँ.
is that there is a certain contempt, frankly, that the people that write those things have for their audience, चाहे बच्चे ही हों,
Hmm.
मगर बच्चों को भी आप अल्टीमेटली क्या ही बता रहे हो. There are some very good for children series that we have
Yeah.
that adults watch.
Yeah.
Adventure Time is one extreme where the surrealism of it has many layers and depths of emotional depth that people like. Then
Hmm.
there's Ang. Then there's Troll Hunters and like Joby, which are very sincerely made children's shows, but have good writing that cut across what one might call lazy or repetitive or chobi. So
Yeah.
while our intent is not that, not to have a well written children's show that adults can appreciate, but to have a show for the person who's watching South Park in this day and age. So someone who watches what Sumit was saying, the Hazar Toon Boom shows that are online right now, BoJack, Tuca and Bertie, and
Hmm.
Rick and Morty, and Star Trek
Low
Lower
decks.
Decks,
Yeah.
which apparently is the most successful new Star Trek series.
Series,
So
apparently.
they
Yeah,
put
for
a
some
lot more.
strange reason. Yeah.
No, but it's a fun show. It isn't
Yeah.
Star Trek.
It is. It
Star
is. I really like it. I just don't know how something like Star Trek Lower Decks performs better than like a proper
Trek.
mainstream Star Trek, new Star Trek series.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
why na ki there's a certain freedom that comes from it, and also from a business point of view, I'm sure the Ghaziabad MBAs will have the proper stats for it. But the freedom, the cost that you save using an animated show, वो
Hmm.
Star Trek की world में हो या वो बिल बर्र का जो show था, right? चाहे वो वैसा टाइप का हो शो, चाहे वो बिग
Hmm.
माउथ हो, it'll cost you the same. It's just a matter
Hmm.
of how you do the voice acting, how you creatively build it out. So
Hmm.
that's a positive on animation as a medium. What we are
So
saying,
इस टॉपिक के बारे में एक और सवाल है, and then I'll kind of let you go on this front because I.
Sumit also I'm sure has something to add to this. So
So
ये topic खत्म
Hmm.
करके
इसमें इसमें आई थिंक एक बार हम लोग एक स्क्रिप्ट लिख रहे थे बीच में, बिकॉज यू गॉट फ्रस्ट्रेटेड एंड मी एंड अधिराज सेड कि अच्छा चल फक इट, लेट्स राइट अ न्यू कॉमिक विद आपकी पूजिता, एंड एक ड्राफ्ट सोचने लगे थे. तो उसमें लाइक अधिराज पॉइंटेड आउट कि नहीं नहीं नहीं, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू डू आउटराइट समाज की सच्चाई, राइट? एंड वी एक्चुअली टर्न्ड इट इनटू अ टर्म, वी कॉल इट एसकेएस नाउ. So it's a term in, within Bakar Max ki writing, that whenever we see SKS anywhere, we red flag it, right? What
अच्छा,
is SKS? It is basically आमिर खान की सारी फिल्में, जिसमें वो
हाँ
सबसे
ओके,
अच्छा इंसान होता है और वो दुनिया को
मैसेजिंग नहीं
समाज
करनी
की
आपको।
सच्चाई, हाँ, कि समाज की
हाँ,
सच्चाई दिखाता है. एंड एनीबडी हु, देयर आर पीपल हु जेन्युइनली लव ह्यूमर, जो ह्यूमर के मंदिर में घंटियां बजाते हैं. एंड देन
हुँ,
देयर आर पीपल हु थिंक ह्यूमर शुड ओनली डू समाज की सच्चाई, कि ह्यूमर इज बेसिकली अ कोटिंग जिसके थ्रू आप समाज की सच्चाई को बता सकते हो. देखा,
हुँ,
मजाक के थ्रू उस पोलियो वाले बच्चे की दुनिया हमने दिखाई. तो नॉट
हाँ
दैट क्रैप बेसिकली.
अच्छा,
वो उससे बच के रहना है. मतलब वो, मतलब हम अपने आप को हाई पेडेस्टल पे दिखा के नहीं कुछ स्टोरी बताएंगे, हम लो पे भी दिखाएंगे, मिडिल भी, कहीं भी.
ओके। सो मेरा अगला सवाल होगा कि आप एक तरह से आप एक मिडल ज़ोन में फँसे हुए हैं। वो ये है कि आप एक मैच्योर चीज़ बनाना चाहते हैं जो कि इंडिया में सेट है। आई डोंट नो अगर आपका टारगेट ऑडियंस इंडियन है या नहीं। पर आप एक ऐसी चीज़ भी बनाना चाहते हैं जो कि एक रिफ्लेक्शन है जो कि इंटरनेशनली हो रही है उसका। क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ अपैरेंटली एनिमेशन इज़ स्टूपिड एंड चिल्ड्रन्स एनिमेशन इज़ डबली स्टूपिड बिकॉज़ दैट्स व्हाट वी हैव ग्रोन अप विथ। सो डू यू थिंक आपका जो टारगेट ऑडियंस है, वो इंडियन है या इंडियन नहीं है?
टारगेट ऑडियंस ये है, ये 3 शक्लें जो दिख रही हैं
अच्छा,
आपको स्क्रीन पे, ये है
फिर तो हो
टारगेट.
चुका फिर तो। वो एक जसपाल भट्टी का स्केच था, उसमें लिखा था रिटन, डायरेक्टेड, प्रोड्यूस्ड एंड वॉच्ड बाय जसपाल भट्टी।
Hmm.
या
And
वही.
and 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 we're still talking about Jasalpati. I mean, jokes aside,
या दैट्स अ गुड
he
पॉइंट।
is still as relevant as he was. कल ही I was watching some American show and someone made the same joke कि corporate world में क्या होता है? We have a meeting to plan the next meeting to plan the next meeting. ये Jasalpati 1980s में कर रहा था, right?
हुँ। या,
Because
या,
he
या।
made sure that he would appreciate, that he would, that he has respect for, is why it still stands the test of time, and that's our
हुँ,
thing. मार्केट के लिए
हुँ,
करोगे तो ना आप खुद खुश होगे ना मार्केट, बिकॉज आप कितना अच्छे से समझते हो, रियली रियली स्पीकिंग, बिकॉज big the world's biggest companies have failed trying to understand the market and make something for the market. Very few visionary people actually can pull that off, and unless you know that you are that, you can't really plan
हुँ,
ahead for it. If I make something that Sumit and I will genuinely enjoy and laugh at,
ओके,
इसीलिए वो समाज की सच्चाई वाला वाला पॉइंट, व्हाट सुमित वाज सेइंग ना,
हुँ,
वो करना नहीं है हमें, बिकॉज़ वी डोंट लाइक, वी यूज्ड यू सी इट व्हेन संजय दत्त इज सेइंग कि अरे अस्पताल में बिना पैसे दिए इलाज नहीं होता है, यही तो खराब है समाज में. यार ये लोग को पसंद आता है, पता
डज़न्ट
है,
रिंग ट्रू कमिंग फ्रॉम
हमें
समवन
नहीं
लाइक
आता.
देम। अच्छा,
हाँ, आई मीन
ओके,
उनके लिए सच होगा शायद, हमारा
हुँ,
सच अलग है. That's what I feel, at least. This the way, if you make something that you yourself enjoy, that'll always be better than anything else.
ओके। सुमित, इसके
Sumit,
बारे में कुछ कहना है आपको?
नहीं,
टारगेट
मुझे
ऑडियंस
इसके
के बारे
बारे में
में,
कुछ
आपके
नहीं
मन में
कहना.
टारगेट ऑडियंस का कंसेप्शन वही है जो अधिराज का है?
मुझे, आई डोंट नो यार, मतलब पता नहीं, जो भी देखे जिसको पसंद आए, आई गेस वही. मतलब उसके बारे में ना
ओके,
सोच के, मतलब ओवर
टेंशन नहीं
एनालिसिस का
लेना
भी
चाहते।
क्या ही. हाँ, मतलब द थिंग इज वही, लाइक अधिराज सेड, राइट? मुझे जो पता चल रहा है धीरे धीरे, लाइक बकर मैक्स पे बस एक कमरे में बैठ के जो कॉमिक्स बना बना के पता चला है कि हमारे जैसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं उल्टा सीधा सोचते हैं. अब वो
हुँ,
उल्टा सीधा सोचना एक्सेप्टेड नहीं है तो वो अपने मन में रखते हैं, राइट? पर कोई ना कोई बैठ के ये सोच रहा है कि यार सुबह 9 बजे उठ के हगने के बाद 1 घंटा जो नींद आती है वो बड़ी अच्छी है. और वो 10 लोग और सोच रहे हैं. इट्स अ रैंडम टॉपिक बट वो किसी सर्वे में नहीं आ सकता,
हाँ।
किसी ऑडियंस रिजल्ट में नहीं आ सकता. बट आई हैव सीन कि उन चीजों में जब रैंडमली कुछ बनाओ, देयर जस्ट रैंडम पीपल हु कम अप एंड से मैं भी यही अजीब चीज सोच रहा था.
नहीं, ये सर्वे वाला पॉइंट अच्छा रेज़ किया बिकॉज़ इट टेक्स अस डायरेक्टली इंटू एमबीए टेरिटरी। पर मैं वहाँ पे जाने से पहले एक और सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ, वो ये है कि मैंने नोट किया था कि आपने आपकी पूजा में कई रियल वर्ल्ड लोगों की पैरोडी भी की थी। एक्टर्स थे फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल जो मिथोलॉजिकल सीरियल्स में रोल करते थे, एक का तो गला भी दबाया था। सो आई एम वंडरिंग इज़ द एनिमेशन शो गोइंग टू बी डूइंग दैट?
uh, well, I mean, as
पैरोडी,
such,
पैरोडी ऑफ एक्चुअल पीपल इन द रियल वर्ल्ड वो होगा क्या इसमें?
आई मीन एज सच कोई क्लियर कट गाइडलाइंस तो नहीं रखी है हमने, कर सकते हैं नहीं भी कर सकते हैं। आर
अच्छा।
लाइक आई मीन एटलीस्ट राइटिंग के समय आर natural bent towards bent is not towards the specific figureheads or what they represent. Mukesh Govil is not कि मुकेश खन्ना और अरुण गोविल का नाम बदल देंगे। इट्स लाइक दिस टाइप ऑफ एक्टर, आपको नाम नहीं याद
हाँ।
होगा, सीरियल नहीं याद होगा, बट हु
अच्छा।
व्हाट कैटेगरी दिस एक्टर विल। इफ वी
ओके।
गिव यू अ बॉलीवुड स्टार कॉल्ड आर्यन खान, हम किसकी बात कर रहे हैं, चार आदमी है वैसे,
हाँ।
एंड व्हाट पोजीशन दे 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 होल्ड, यू कैन चेंज द नेम बट फंडामेंटली
ओके।
यही है एटलीस्ट।
वो मेरा फेवरेट एपिसोड था बाय द वे, जिसमें उसका गला दबाया था। मैं हंस के मर गया था।
मतलब आई गेस वही आर्किटाइप बन जाएगा ना कि एक टाइप को रिप्रेजेंट करता है वो, फिर उसके साथ हम जितना मर्जी जो कुछ करें, राइट?
हम्म।
तो मतलब कोई, इट्स जस्ट, इट आल्सो मेक्स राइटिंग अ लॉट ऑफ फन।
Okay. So that brings us to the end of this section. And before I proceed to the next one, where we are going to talk about the general state of animation and their ups and downs, I just want to remind everyone that the link to the Kickstarter project is pinned to the top of the chat. So if you want to support it, you can click that link and you can go there. They're at the 50% mark right now. Every bit of support matters. Please go ahead and do it. So मेरा अगला पॉइंट ये होगा कि ये एक एनिमेशन प्रोजेक्ट है. कैन आई गेट अ ब्रीफ ओवरव्यू फ्रॉम यू अबाउट इस स्टेज तक आने के लिए आपको किस किस जगह पर धक्के खाने पड़े, क्या क्या ऑब्स्ट्रक्शंस आई और आपने उनसे लेसन्स क्या लिए? मतलब आपने कुछ एक रास्ते सोचे हो कि हम लोग ये करेंगे, पर वो हुआ नहीं और फिर आप यहाँ पे हैं अभी, क्या क्राउड फंडिंग कर रहे हैं?
Sumit, do you wanna start? I have मतलब vague things only to say, which is a clear cut.
So first of all, it started off as, if you remember, level 10 comics होती थी अपनी
हम्म.
तो they at that time were building a show for Cartoon Network, and I connected with them because I had just been thrown out of my Comic One India job and I wanted work. And they said they were open for animated show pitches. And then me and Adhiraj sat down and we thought, okay, we need to pitch a show. And that was, we had written a sketch जिसमें basically वो जो बार बार उस टाइम पे और अभी भी आ रहे हैं, there's just these girl front वाले shows होते हैं, तुम्हारी राधिका, तुम्हारी पियाली, और होते हैं
अच्छा.
ये, these are lot of these,
हाँ.
recap, अनुपमा, जिसमें, और हमेशा उसमें होता है कि पांच, वी हैड रिटन अ स्केच जिसमें बेसिकली एक किसी का खाना नहीं है, अरे पूजिता कहाँ है खाना, ये लो बाबूजी, अरे चिंटू कहाँ है ये, वो लो बाबूजी, फिर एक
अच्छा.
में अरे मगरमच्छ मुझे अटैक कर रहा है, तो उसमें पूजिता जंप करती है, टेंस मूवमेंट होता है, सिर्फ पानी है और फिर खून आता है, और फिर हमें लगता है हम पहले मगरमच्छ आता है फिर पूजिता आती है फ्लिप करके, हाँ ऐसे, दैट वाज द sketch we had written and we thought, okay, this can be a show, and we wrote आपकी पूजिता, and they said we are not interested in funding it as a show or something, तुम लोग को कुछ और
हम्म.
करना है, तो हमने तब तक फर्स्ट एपिसोड एक लिख दिया था, एंड अधिराज एंड आई सेड के ओके फर्स्ट एपिसोड लिखा हुआ है, we'll take it and we'll just start drawing it as a comic, and we did that for 1 year. We made one comic strip every day, so one strip a day, fully colored. Adhiraj used to write it, and we used to discuss the broad idea, kuch, but then Adhiraj was writing it and I was drawing it. And after it was finished, uske baad, and we digressed into every possible topic, every possible direction. Like today, I think both of us, if somebody was to say ऐसा करना है, we would just say flat out no. So it was sort of,
हम्म.
I think, stupidity of youth के हम दोनों ने वो किया, like randomly कभी गाना बना दिया किसी एपिसोड का, कुछ और कर दिया, and then after doing that we went around again, right? At that time we were depressed because the webcomic didn't perform at all, so we didn't have the vote of performance, so we went out and we actually went to Web Chutney ke offices, the ad agency, and they said, what is your highest performing comic? And we showed them a comic which had 50 likes. And they said,
वाह.
this, they said, why have you even come here? मतलब बाहर निकलो तुम. और फिर उसके बाद लकीली उस टाइम के बाद आई थिंक अधिराज और हम अलग अलग जगह जगह ज्वाइन कर रहे थे, उस टाइम पे वेब चटनी का एम्प्लॉय स्टार्टेड स्कूप हुप, And he called us again saying कि मुझे अभी अभी पैसा मिला है एयरटेल से, I have to make shows and I want to make a show and this idea of yours looks good. But at that time both me and Adhiraj were stuck. We were like तुमको करना है तो अपने आप कर लो, हमसे आईपी किराए पे ले लो. They were like हमें ऐसे नहीं करना, तो वो नहीं हुआ. देन उसके बाद काफी टाइम तक गाड़ी अटकी रही. फिर एक यूट्यूब चैनल आता था. आई थॉट यू आई कंप्लीटली थिंक तूने सोचा नहीं था इतना लॉन्ग ड्रॉन आंसर
No, no,
होगा.
I'm totally digging this. Please
But
go on.
okay.
So,
Yeah, this is what
It's
podcasts are made of. You should know you were on a podcast with your very close friends a couple of days ago,
yeah, मतलब
whose
it
names
just
you have
sounds like
forgotten.
it just sounds like जब वो बर्फी पिक्चर में उससे पूछता है ना, शुरू से कहानी सुनाओ, मेरे पिताजी को प्यार हुआ मेरी माँ से. तो
No, no, go on.
101 India is by Cyrus Oshidar. That's a company YouTube channel, and both me and Adhiraj are fans of Cyrus Oshidar's work because he's literally the absolute madness that both of us love. So we pitched it to him. He said, "Great, banao." And we worked on again one episode, and which he didn't like at all. मतलब he was like, हम करते गए, improve करते गए, polish करते गए. He didn't like it, but both of us were happy with the animatic. And I told Adhiraj कि फिर अब eventually खुद से बना देंगे. So then eventually it reached a point जहाँ Bucker Max got its first animated film का project. And while we were making that film, I had access to an animator, Abhinav Krishna. And I said, will you help me make this? And he said, okay, but you'll have to sit and do all the animation. I'll help you, figure out things. And I literally sat down and I animated those 8 minutes myself. And if Adhiraj तेरे को याद होगा, I used to send you every sequence that I made 2 seconds का every day. So
right.
then eventually that we finished, we put it out, and to us that was a very good sense of completion. कि खत्म हो गया है, finally we have buried it, because both it affects you when you have an idea which is not getting finished. And to us, that's why we called it episode one and only, because we were done. हो गया. And then, God being the bastard he is, we got a call from Hotstar saying, okay, we really like this idea. Do you want to take this ahead? And that led to us developing it further. And then Vivekanand Roy Ghatak joined us and helped us build a sample, this, that. We went and we pitched, and it was greenlit that same day. They told us this is
Nice.
fine, we're doing it. And हाँ Adhiraj, कुछ कहना?
I always take
हाँ,
make it a point to
avoid.
point out it wasn't
Yes,
greenlit तक जा रहे थे, but they had shown interest.
yeah,
बजट पर बात कर रहे थे for a pilot greenlit होने वाला था until the thing happened, but definitely
Acha.
होने
yeah.
वाला था because going back and forth on the budget and cost,
But the
production
actual
plan,
making of the thing was within sight, right? It was like you
the
could see
pilot,
that it was about to. Huh.
a pilot, हाँ,
So,
Okay.
but it wasn't greenlit.
and
Okay.
and I still remember the day before that Hotstar pitch, I was I think drawing the storyboards for that first episode रात को by 2 a.m. and I started crying because I was really angry कि 2011 से मैं इस पे काम कर रहा हूँ, and either it gets rejected in that pitch or it gets accepted. If it gets rejected, it's decent burial, fine, it works. And they said yes in that pitch. And then all of us worked hard, and eventually, then that whole COVID situation happened, and it got stuck again in the middle. And this now finally is our attempt to, finish it in one coherent form where, you can see it. Because
So after. Huh, go on.
what happened during that writing for Hotstar, उस process में, is that we developed a character further. And to be honest, that character became somebody that you can really fall in love with. Like Pujita ka character became something that if you start seeing it, like you do want that character every day. You want to speak to her. You do want to connect with her. So that sort of, I think, that connect became something that we want to do offload by creating that first season.
Okay. But you were also on a certain reality TV show where Aapki Poojita was on the plate. This was after the Hotstar experience, and what happened there? If you can give us a brief description of it, because you've already spoken about it a lot of times.
After the Hotstar experience, and Hotstar experience was in 2019 to 2020. This one happened last year, Shark Tank, and wahan it basically they just wanted us to play a clip that represents Pucker Max, but we kept showing them stuff and they kept rejecting it because of the policies in television. So eventually, I think this was the 11th clip that they accepted.
Acha. And if I remember the episode correctly, uh, you were given feedback about what kind of animation you should get into. And one of those was, mythology banao or something. So, how was like, what do you think of that feedback? Now,
I think
clearly, you have not
like
taken it seriously. Obviously, you have not taken it seriously. But that kind of feedback, why do you think it defines the animation industry in India? And what problem do you have with it?
I think it's business people will obviously, pure business will speak like pure business, right? And you can't blame them for it, right? They are thinking in terms of finance uh, and that's all right. Matlab, they only look at what is performing and then to make more of whatever is performing. That's the simple rule. So I think that's what they were suggesting. So, but that's fine. What we are trying to do is we are taking that one step ahead by trying to establish the market so that then, we are even one step ahead. We own the market and we own it for years till any competitor even appears. So that's even better business idea, right? To own the whole market, to own the whole wide blue ocean and make as much money as we can.
Yeah. Adhiraj, you were saying something?
It's if the idea of finance is to fund what is working and do more of it, so matlab, then it really falls on guys like Sumit and me to try things
Yeah.
out for the first time and take the risk that comes with that, while the people that handle the money only go after what's safe,
Yeah.
which is
Which is the MBA guys.
हाँ, which is the problem with things also. मतलब इतने सारे पैसे का फायदा क्या है if you're not trying out new things? I thought the
And
whole point
also,
is high risk, high reward.
yeah.
That when the top people get the profits का सारा risk वो ले रहे हैं, पर मतलब risk तो वो लोग ले रहे हैं ना, the guys you lay off.
Hmm.
आप तो वही के वही
No,
रहोगे.
I'm asking because in a recent conversation on another podcast that I heard from Sumit, he was talking about proposals from people from, uh, entertainment company backgrounds, जो आगे बोलते हैं कि हम लोग पहले साल में कॉमिक छापना चाहते हैं, दूसरे साल में पिक्चर बनाना चाहते हैं और तीसरे साल में रिटायर होना चाहते हैं.
हम्म.
सो ये जो आउटकम की बात है, लाइक अ लॉट डिपेंड्स ऑन व्हाट यू मीन बाय आउटकम. लाइक आई एम श्योर योर क्रिएटर्स and Aapki Poojita is a creator owned project. For you, the outcome means different than what it does to them. You want to dominate a market, they want to make money on one project, right?
Dominate a market. I mean, Sumit can correct me if I'm
As a
wrong, but
creator, huh?
that's the kind of language that they use. I personally, and so Sumit also, even though he may, वो थोड़ा सा Sumit last few years has been on a CEO
Mode.
wala
Acha.
power. No, I'm saying he's been on a power trip. Full CEO, always talking about ये सब market dominate करना है. What Sumit actually likes is to draw comics in between cups of chai with his team. उसका आउटकम ये है, मेरा आउटकम है बैठ के लिखना.
Hmm.
Honestly, there's so many projects and things that I don't end up doing anything with because वो मेरा काम तो हो गया. मुझे जो निकालना था इससे वो
Hmm.
तो हो गया. I did Sumit started मेरे पहले. I did stand up for like a short while. वो कुछ करियर ट्रैक वाली जो बातें लोग करते हैं कि ये वीडियो छापो, ये करो, वो करो. मुझे वो 5 लोग को हँसा के मेरा तो हो गया काम. मुझे साल में एक ओपन माइक करके मुझे आउटकम अपना मिल रहा है.
मिल
I
जाता
know
है. अच्छा.
I have to pay bills, I have loans, I have EMIs now, but if the person that wants to run this entrepreneurial style of thing, even they don't like it, उनको
Hmm.
जल्दी से खत्म करके घर जाना है, उनको बंद
Hmm.
करना है.
Hmm.
I am already doing something that I can do till I die. मेरा आउटकम यही है. मैं पहुंच गया हूं. आपको एक साल में वो मुझे खत्म करना है. पिक समथिंग यू एक्चुअली वांट टू डू ना. देन साले तुम्हारे पास इतने पैसे हैं, तुम्हें करना क्या है? घर पे बैठना है. रोक कौन रहा है, कर लो, क्या है ये,
Yeah.
it's not that hard. It is hard to get here, you need a lot of luck and जो भी, but I'm saying ये thought process shouldn't be इतना hard. At least this is what I think. Sumit has some MBA words to give, I'm sure. Market domination,
नहीं,
annihilation of opposition.
Are you really on a power trip, Sumit?
I am, and I won't disagree, right? Okay, basically, I've become a half creature now. So half a cartoonist who wants to just sit and make comics, and half a person, मतलब चाहे जैसे भी कहें, अब एक गाड़ी शुरू हो गई है जिसमें 10 लोगों की नौकरी है, which I have to take care of day and night, and it's not something I can run away from in recent future के शुरू के जो ये वाला स्टेज है इसमें nobody wants to do my job because it's just it's a good and a weird job. So the thing is, once it is like Bucker Max becomes really popular, sure, we'll have a lot of candidates to do this job. Right now, we don't have. Right? If there was anybody else, I would really resign today, sit in a corner and make comics. So I'm a half creature right now, and मतलब उस half creature का problem ये है कि जो business perspective से जो problem है वो ये है कि basically these people have money to do both, right? It's not one or the other. You can follow the established trends, make your money, but in the middle keep investing money in things to find new trends, right? They could do both, but the point is they're choosing not to. Me and Adhiraj both have gone and we have pitched to almost 2 3 top OTTs. We have pitched to them, but they've taken this absolute stand of animation for grown-ups will not work in India, and hard stand लिया है उन लोगों ने, like hard absolute stand लिया हुआ है. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि दे आर विलन्स इन दैट, ठीक है, उन्होंने लिया है उनका जो भी, दे माइट हैव डेटा नॉट हैव डेटा, बट उसके साथ साथ उनकी एक प्रॉब्लम है जो उन्होंने फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे साथ डिस्कस की थी नेटफ्लिक्स ने. उनकी प्रॉब्लम थी कि व्हेन दे आर ट्राइंग टू बिल्ड शोज लाइक दीज, they are not able to find a studio that does the writing and the animation together, because writing for animation is very different. So they are finding a lot of stand-up comedians जो writing कर लेते हैं, उनको animation नहीं समझ आती, and they are able to find lot of animation production houses जिनको animation समझ
जिनको
आती है
स्टोरी
और
नहीं
उनको,
थी.
हाँ, तो ये sort of एक combination of problems है, जो हमारी तरफ से जो sort of business perspective से वही है कि अभी being this small, the only thing we can do is one after the other experiments, right? तो हम वही कर रहे हैं. तो the idea is whatever experiment works, we'll also obviously repeat it. It's not like we won't.
अच्छा, तो मुझे एक्चुअली मेरे अगले सवाल तक जाने के लिए सेगवे करने का मौका नहीं मिल रहा, सो मैं सीधे-सीधे पूछ लेता हूँ. क्योंकि आपने कहा कि अगर सीईओ मोड में है, अगर कोई और आपका काम कर पाता, आप उससे करवा लेते. गुड़गाँव के एमबीएस से आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम है? सॉरी, गाज़ियाबाद के एमबीएस से आपको क्या
गाजियाबाद,
प्रॉब्लम है?
मुझे प्रॉब्लम से ज़्यादा मुझे बस फैसिनेटिंग लगता है टर्म, कि एक बार मैं एक एड एजेंसी गया था, स्टोरी बोर्ड की असाइनमेंट थी, और
हाँ,
मैं गया था और वहाँ वो बैठ के एक बंगाली क्रिएटिव डायरेक्टर सिगरेट पीते हुए मुझे बोलता, लड़की बनाओ, लड़की है, मैं बना रहा था नाचती हुई ये वो. फिर उसके बाद उसको बीच में वो फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गया और वो कहने लगा, "ये गाजियाबाद एमबीएस साले आ जाते हैं, मेरे को बता रहा है कैसे बनाना है, मुझे क्या." तो आई जस्ट लाइक द टर्म गाजियाबाद एमबीएस, क्योंकि लिटरली मैं मेरठ से एंटर करो एक के बाद एक एमबीए कॉलेजेस है.
हाँ,
दैट्स
या.
इट. वन
मेरा एक
सेकंड, आई
पब्लिशर था
जस्ट
एक
पुट
बार
ऑन
बहुत
माय
दिन पहले.
चार्जर.
हाँ, मेरा एक पब्लिशर था कई साल पहले जो कहता था मेरे पापा को कॉलेज खोलने का शौक है. सो
कॉलेज खोलने का
उसके
शौक है.
उसके उसके डैड की हॉबी थी कॉलेज खोलना. इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस, एमबीए कॉलेजेस, हर जगह वही सब खोलते रहते थे. और ही यूज्ड टू से, "यू जस्ट वॉच, गाज़ियाबाद इज़ गोइंग टू बिकम अ सैटेलाइट टाउन." एंड द पर्सन आई हैड गॉन विथ had said, "The only way this place is going to become a satellite town is if a satellite falls on it." So, Adhiraj,
Hmm.
your career trajectory has been slightly different from Sumit's, right? Sumit's has been, uh, it's not exactly like running parallel to each other exactly. So, if I asked you to, like, we already have spoken with Sumit about his career in the past. How did you get here? What all have you done?
My career trajectory has been very random. That's why
Okay.
it cannot be parallel, I think, to any one individual, क्योंकि वो हमेशा एक अलग tangent पे निकल जो जाता है. Sumit and I met at the first place the both of us worked, which
Hmm.
was this company that had a magazine and would produce reality shows and Comic Con and so
Hmm.
on. That's the first place that the both of us worked, and we met and became friends. That's also the only job that Sumit has had. उसके बाद से उसने Bucker Max start किया, and he has only been a CEO, even when he had only himself as his own employee. उसके बाद से मैंने वही I've done freelance writing काफी tried my hand at writing scripts and attending labs to learn writing
Hmm.
for that medium. I worked at magazines. I wrote for magazines. I was the assistant editor for Champak for a year and a half.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Yeah. Then then I did
I
like
remember because at some point of time I have sent you a message saying, "Hey man, is your job free now? Can I take it?"
I think you did, huh? I think you did, and I said that he
I was in
was
Delhi. Yeah.
दिल्ली, हाँ, बहुत पहले. बट हाँ, फिर वही उसके बाद में भी वही आफ्टर दैट आई कॉन्शियसली रियलाइज दैट दिस प्रिंट में मतलब मे बी इट्स स्टिल इंटरेस्टिंग, बट प्रिंट इंडस्ट्री उसमें काम काम लाइक करना इज मे बी नॉट फॉर मी. साथ साथ आई वाज डूइंग comedy and writing and scripting and so on so on. So then I started doing stand up in a big way. Me and
Hmm.
my friend Rohan Desai, we recorded a sketch that went viral. Usse we
The
got a job
Seinfeld.
at Y Films, which is Yash Raj Films ka web series wing. So I was active for
Hmm.
only 1 year, the year that we worked there. But us saal mein, I think they had 4 or 5 web series like out, like back to back. उन्होंने बस छापा. That was a very busy year for them. But उसके बाद they didn't pursue that. They went straight back to doing only feature films
Hmm.
and जो भी big budget films. I just उसके बाद से I just did freelance writing for like OTT shows and all of that, and then I joined Vice as a writer at first, and now I'm a development executive for documentaries.
Nice.
So मतलब अजीब
Basically,
ही
you
है.
have no idea what you're doing with your life.
नो आइडिया, नो आइडिया. रोज रोज उठ के देखता हूँ कि आज क्या है, कि सिक्का सिक्का उछालता हूँ, देखता हूँ.
आईने में देख के पूछते हो मैं हूँ कौन?
नहीं, ये एक चीज है जो मैंने कभी नहीं पूछी है. मतलब मैं कहाँ जाऊँ इज लाइक अ मोर थिंग. मैं तो
अच्छा, okay.
शुरू से लाइक यही है जो है. कुछ
It's kind of hard to
मतलब
describe, right? Like, how do your families, like, सुमित का मुझे पता नहीं, आपका भी पता नहीं. Both of you, if you want to answer this question, ये एक अजीबोगरीब लाइन में हो आप लोग. मैं भी हूँ, but I have managed to get my parents around to my way of thinking. But do you still get messages from caring relatives who say that you are incomprehensible to us. Please become easy to understand. Does that happen still?
I think my family at least has stopped asking. काफी साल पहले they gave up. But my immediate family, like parents and grandparents, they ask if I'm मतलब खाने पीने के पैसे हैं, घर भर के पैसे हैं, वो है. So they're like ठीक
हाँ.
है.
To anyone who's asking, yes, I am taking questions from audience. If anyone has any questions for our guests, please leave them in the chat. I'll put them on screen and they can answer. We have like 15 minutes left in any case. सुमित, आपकी फैमिली क्या करती है? मतलब इस प्रॉब्लम के बारे में कुछ?
आई थिंक फैमिलीज और पेरेंट्स इन जनरल एक बार उन्हें किसी भी चीज से नोट आते हुए दिख जाते हैं, दे डोंट हैव अ प्रॉब्लम. यू कैन गो अहेड एंड बी अ मेल प्रोस्टिट्यूट फॉर ऑल दे केयर. उनको बस एक बार पैसे आते हुए दिख जाने चाहिए कि पेट पाल लेगा अपना. हाँ,
हाँ,
ठीक है.
घर तो चल
हाँ,
रहा है, चलो सेटल हो गया.
हाँ,
क्या है?
हाँ,
जिगलो है.
सेटल हो गया. धौला कुआं में खड़ा है हाफ
हाँ,
पैंट्स पहन के.
हाँ. अरे ओ हो इंडिपेंडेंट
Independent, like
entrepreneur.
और
there
वो
must
नहीं
be
था
something.
ब्लैक एडर वाला, घर से काम कर रहा है,
घर से
बेड
काम
पे
करता
लेट
है.
के देखो,
हाँ,
वर्क फ्रॉम होम.
वर्क फ्रॉम होम. हाँ, हमेशा.
ब्लैक एडर में ये कहाँ था?
एक
ब्लैक एडर में उसमें एक बंदा.
सीरीज
हाँ,
1 में आया कुछ. वो अपनी बेटी को he was trying to talk her into becoming a prostitute. So he was trying to
हम्म.
give her all the pros इसके.
अच्छा, हाँ. I remember this. Black
Yeah.
Adder was like another level. And I think if anyone is in India whose work I will compare to Blackadder level of darkness, it will be you guys.
Thank you.
uh, Kavan asks, if I have a story idea and I want to get it animated, who do I approach and how? Kavan, start a Kickstarter.
We don't have.
It's for
If
you. The
you,
question is for you.
we should be asking Kavan on this, because the three of us have the same question right now.
Hmm.
मतलब,
Kavan
yeah.
is a young writer. He's like
No,
सुमित,
I'm
अगर एक यंग एनिमेटर आपके पास आए तो बोले कि मेरे पास आइडिया है, मैं इसको एनिमेट करना चाहता हूँ, क्या एडवाइस दोगे? बोलोगे मेरी कंपनी ज्वाइन कर लो, या बोलोगे अपनी कंपनी शुरू करो, या बोलोगे छोड़ दो और कुछ करो?
नहीं, मैं बस इतना पूछूंगा कि पेरेंट्स 3 टाइम का रोटी दे सकते हैं? अगर दे सकते हैं तो घर में एक टेबल पे बैठो, एनिमेटर तुम यंग हो, ये तुम्हें एनिमेट करना आता है, स्क्रिप्ट लिखो चुपचाप, किसी फ्रेंड से हेल्प ले लो और फिर एनिमेट करना शुरू करो। 6 महीने लगाओ, 1 साल लगाओ, बन जाएगी तुम्हारी शॉर्ट फिल्म। 3 बार का खाना मिल ही रहा है तुम्हें, और क्या चाहिए?
हाँ. Yeah, as in this is an adventurous line. If you want to get into it, be prepared to risk a lot and lose a lot. If you're okay with those things, then maybe you will get where you need to get. Maybe you won't. And in either case, don't come back to me crying. Taranga says, hold on. Taranga says, Sumit, you said you have written Poojita into someone that we would want to talk to or hear. What is the best thing about her as a character or a person? Finally, a relevant question.
अधिराज, अधिराज।
um what we wrote Pujita to be is someone who was raised with her worldview was shaped by the writing of the show, which was in that very wholesome, very idealistic view of the world of India and of what a person should be like. So the one
Hmm.
thing she has an infinite well of is hope, is
Hmm.
positivity, is optimism. So even in the face of what the real world is like, what has already changed all of us into a warped version of who we thought we would be, Pujita is still pushing through, and that's the admirable quality of her in this. बाकी सब लोग हरामी हैं, और ये उसी एनवायरनमेंट में जिस एसिड ने बाकी सबको
Yeah.
मेल्ट कर दिया, उससे ये जोकर की तरह एक पॉजिटिव ऑप्टिमिस्टिक होपफुल जोकर की तरह बाहर आती है, कहती है कि चलो, उफ उफ, चलो अगला दिन, नया दिन, नई रात, नई बात, जो भी
Okay.
मतलब कि कोई लाइन
What is a positive joker? Optimistic joker.
मुझे कुछ मन में वो इमेज आ गया कि बाकी लोग
हाँ,
मर
नहीं
रहे हैं
वही,
और वो
that's completely right। हाँ, कि basically
Positive
हमने जब
Joker is
इसका
like
लिखा,
Batman, तू मेरा भाई है, वैसे वाला.
नहीं,
In
बैटमैन
addition to
तुम अच्छी
warping his
चीजें करो,
physique, it also
रा,
intoxicated him.
हाँ, कि रात को ही क्यों काम करते हो, दिन में भी काम करो, जिसने सूरज देखा वही अच्छा इंसान। बेसिकली शी एंडलेस कोट्स, वो
अच्छा,
है
she's a
बेसिकली।
okay, inspirational.
शी बेसिकली शीज
इंस्पिरेशनल
वन पॉइंट इज
मतलब
that
सॉरी नहीं
inspiration can get really tiring, but at the same time the thing is we just survive surrounded by so much of daily, कि एक point तक you get tired by it, but एक point के बाद you're also, you like, maybe हाँ try करते हैं। So
Okay,
it's a very strange, like I think a very good way, what Adhiraj has said, very positive joker।
Positive Joker.
कि how does one persevere to be the most ideal, the most innocent, the most hopeful version of yourself in the world we live in? All of us have
Hmm.
been changed. बचपन में जो हम थे कि मैं ये करूंगा जाके, वो तो अब नहीं है ना, और रोज रोज we make small choices that younger idealistic child version of ourselves would be ashamed of every day. Pujita isn't that. Pujita
Hmm.
will always be the inspiration to her own childhood self that she was. Even in the face of the worst things, she'll find a way, and that's the hard part. Everyone has that one breaking point or character turning point. Pujita finds the way to remain true to her own core, her own ideal. क्योंकि उसका core ही तो यही है वो चीज.
Hmm.
There's no facade कि मैं वो Bauji is one way on the outside, one way on the inside. Bhabhi is one way on the outside, one way on the inside. Pujita वही है. कोई layers नहीं है, मतलब depth है.
Okay.
Because how does this one person get by, cope with the new knowledge that she has of the world now. कि मेरी दुनिया ऐसी है, असली दुनिया ऐसी है. The depth
Okay.
is there, but it's what you see. No secrets, no crazy. अरे अच्छा twist ये है,
Okay.
इसने सब पर game किया, race 3.
So Rachit Verma, who's also on record as having said that Sumit, you are my love charger, has asked why animation, why not live action? पैसे नहीं है.
Sumit, do you want to answer? मतलब I know
नहीं,
Sumit said
मैं
that.
Adhiraj.
standard
Adhiraj said Sumit.
since
No.
नहीं, I'll tell you why I did that. Since the day we've been doing आपकी पूछता, I always go alphabetical. So for everything it's पहले Adhiraj Singh फिर Sumit Kumar. So I just maintain that just makes everything so easy, from designing a small poster of आपकी पूछता to doing a podcast. तो इसलिए
Systematic तो है, हाँ, makes sense.
हाँ.
So why
It's
animation?
दो reason है for me. One is that every episode का cost will be the exact same. Budget rethink करना ही नहीं होगा. कि यहाँ पे कितने लोकेशन होंगे, कितने होंगे, सबका तो सेम ही है. 22 मिनट, इतने जितने लाख, खत्म हो गया. And the thing that the animation medium gets you in terms of the emotional quality that you need is very different from what a live action show can give you. Basically, for something as satirical, as absurd, as over the top as this. Just that. मतलब
Okay.
है, हाँ.
Okay.
I agree. हाँ.
So Taranga has another question. Says, did you have any challenges in writing a woman as a character? Where did you draw from to help with writing her?
I'm sure that there'll be many problems that the women watching the show can point out. I think when we started coming up with it and writing the actual lines and like stuff, we really just try to look at the women in our lives and try to sort of put them in situations or how they would react and change things and adapt things. What I think I learned mostly is that when writing a woman character, the main thing you have to change is internally you write them as you would write your own self or a male character or Jovi. What will change is how the world interacts with them. For them, a situation that we may not think twice about doing is a very different, problem for them. So that's, I think, one thing that
Okay.
at least I would think of and I would do. But I'm sure there'll be many. Like we didn't think much about I should live as a girl to learn what it's like. वो सब हमने at least
No,
manage.
Adhiraj did that actually for 6 months. He dressed up as Poojita, danced around in various areas.
Acted in a
उसने
TV
किया है
serial.
acted in a TV serial. But basically इसमें ये भी है कि Adhiraj and I, when we were discussing that whole Hotstar project, we did think कि हाँ मतलब if this is now happening the full season, we should get in a woman writer to also get more perspective, because we did feel the fault कि वो करना है. दूसरी चीज़ I think जो अच्छी चीज़ है which made our job easier was that Pujita is actually the good girl every Indian family wants. She's actually
girl
the
next door.
good girl जो लड़कियों को खुद बेचते हैं कि तुम्हें ये good girl बनना है, जो चुप रहेगी, कुछ नहीं करेगी. तो एक्चुअली लड़के वो सबसे बेस्ट लिख सकते हैं ना.
हाँ.
तो
Yeah.
उस
So
पर्सपेक्टिव
yeah,
से
I get what you're coming from. Like TV serial का जो idealized female version है, Pujita is that.
हाँ.
yeah,
Okay.
she's more than
So
that. She's so much of that it becomes funny.
okay. So तरंगा का एक और ये है, वो पैसों के बारे में ही है. वो ये है कि how do we contribute if you don't have an effing debit credit card, please?
So you
Kickstarter
can
के अलावा कोई और ऑप्शन है इसको फंड करने का?
हाँ, so they can actually message us on social, and we can give them one of our colleagues का proxy number. They can GPay us, and they also need to tell us their Kickstarter profile. So what we'll do is we'll charge our card to it, but under their profile, and then they can obviously change their password later.
Okay, cool. So the answer is message Sumit on Instagram or Twitter. You know their handles, right? It's BuckerMax. At BuckerMax, right?
Yeah, at
At
BuckerMax
Yeah.
on
Max underscore.
that's on
BuckerMax
Twitter.
underscore.
At BuckerMax on Instagram.
Okay. cool. So there is, I don't know, Eman का comment है, but this is psychology. हाँ, तो in the language of psychodynamic theory, Pujita is the super ego, our ideal self. Okay.
A super ego, but without the foundation of an id and an ego underneath it. So if you could imagine that,
Just a super ego.
just the super ego, not
ये
which is also
अधिराज
inside.
सिंह ने जो 3 साल बीएससी की है साइकोलॉजी की,
BA,
पहली बार काम आई है.
BA,
I
psychology
think
BA होता है, psychology BA
बीए,
होता है.
हाँ,
ये honors,
उस
honors.
एक बार काम आई, एक बार पूरी
यार मुझे
लाइफ में
बहुत मन
पहली
था,
बार.
मुझे मन था सोशियोलॉजी या साइकोलॉजी में जाने का, पर मुझे बताया गया है लड़कियों के सब्जेक्ट और करने नहीं दिए गए, इसलिए मैं झक मार के इंग्लिश लिटरेचर में चला गया, व्हिच अपेरेंटली इज वेरी मैस्कुलिन. इट्स नॉट. क्लास में 4 लड़के थे, उनमें से एक मैं था. But yeah, I'll remind everyone that the link to their Kickstarter is on the chat and it is pinned to the top. If anyone wants to contribute there, you can. And in addition to that, if you can't support through Kickstarter, you can simply message Buckermax on social media and they will tell you how to contribute. We are at the 56-minute mark. There was one question which is kind of stereotypical, but since we have 5 minutes, Nav Jindal ka question hai, what are your thoughts on the future of Indian animation industry?
I'll
जिसके बारे
I'll
में
take
पिछले
this
पिछले
going
इंटरव्यू में सुमित ने बहुत अच्छा आंसर दिया था, बट या गो अहेड.
alphabetically इसको करते हैं. I
हाँ.
personally, मतलब I don't have very positive views about most things, but in general, the Indian animation industry is one of those things where we know that we have literally lacks of people who are skilled enough to pull it off in terms of Indian gaming industry, for example, in Indian animation B, we have the people to do it. Just that what they end up doing is like, the grunt work for projects happening outside the country, or like Chub Jabi or India maybe jo ho rahe hai, they ultimately have to answer to the people controlling the channels, who have a particular idea for how things work, who have a particular notion of what things should be like. So we have to sort of go beyond that a bit and try to start to experiment a little bit with the kind of things we make, the kind of shows we watch. एक type का, यूपी गंज crime film work. उसके बाद I think 10 साल तक we saw 1000 type के things. We still are seeing those things. Not that they're inherently wrong, but वही है ना, if one thing works, you put money behind that to make more of it, as opposed to trying to be the first one in a completely new field. So उससे थोड़ा आगे जाके जाएंगे, तभी I think things can actually grow and actually change. Until then, there'll be people like Sumit and me who are doing their own thing right now also. There are very good animators who have great ideas, but मतलब मौका चाहिए.
Okay. Anything to add, Sumit?
11th November,
क्या?
3046. XX, Future of Indian Animation Industry. 11th November 3046. XXY Alpha Jan has just launched a new show which you pay through rabbit coins. And these are called butthole
बिटकॉइन तो
camps.
वैसे भी डूब गया. I think फ्यूचर का प्रेडिक्शन करना है ना, लाइक इफ दिस गोज
मैं
ऑन थिंग्स विल
एग्जैक्ट
हैपन.
बता रहा
बिटकॉइन तो
हूँ
डूब
और
चुका है.
तुम सुन नहीं रहे हो. मैं एग्जैक्ट पूरा तुम्हें फ्यूचर एक परफेक्ट एग्जैक्ट डेट के साथ बता रहा हूँ. एंड जस्ट यू नॉट इंटरेस्टेड. दिस इज व्हाट यू डू एवरी टाइम. लास्ट टाइम भी मैं एग्जैक्ट फ्यूचर बता रहा था एंड जस्ट यू नॉट इंटरेस्टेड.
Anything which is offered without evidence can be rejected without evidence.
क्या लाइनें हैं. हाँ,
ये
कार्ल सेगन का कोट है ये.
as a lawyer type की चीजें.
हाँ,
if it has wordplay, then it must be true.
If it has what? Wordplay.
Wordplay. It's such a very Indian thing, ना. कोई भी aphorism, Shark Tank में all the judges had these witty things to say that sound true, क्योंकि we're used to
I
it.
have no memory of
वही तो
Shark
फॉर्म
Tank.
में है, सच होगा.
मैं शार्क टैंक के बारे में सब कुछ भूल चुका हूँ, सब कुछ. मुझे सुमित के एपिसोड के अलावा कुछ भी याद नहीं. इट वाज सच एन लाइक मोस्टली फॉरगेटेबल था. But thanks guys, thank you for coming, thank you for doing this. This was a lot of fun and I hope that the Kickstarter reaches its goal as soon as possible and
Yes.
hope to have you on the show soon. Sumit क्या कर रहा है?
He's fingers crossed.
अच्छा ये
नहीं,
फिंगर्स
ऐसे
क्रॉस
ही
था.
करो.
फ्रेम के बाहर
Frame
चला गया, फिंगर
crossed.
दिख नहीं रहा है.
Frame होगा crop.
Okay,
हाँ.
cool. Got it.
Thank you
Chalo.
so much for having
I'll
us,
yeah,
Vijay.
I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.
Bye. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. So those were our guests, and I will remind everyone that the link to their Kickstarter is still pinned to the top of the chat. If you want to, you can click on it and support the project. And if you can't pay through Kickstarter, you can simply message Bakar Max or Adhiraj on social media, and they can tell you how to pay if you don't have a credit/debit card. If you want to support this show, you can become a member by clicking the join button below, and you'll be supporting the show. Mostly, we have a question answer session about atheism, religion, and culture, but sometimes we have chill episodes like this where I get guests to talk about something in the entertainment industry or something in the publishing industry or science fiction or TV shows and stuff like that. Today was a chill episode. I will see you next time on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. For those who have been asking about my health is much better now. I mean, it's not completely okay, but it's much better now. So Wednesday वाला live stream होगा और उस दिन हम as usual atheism के बारे में बात करेंगे. Let me take a look at the last few comments. Hmm. Right. So that's it, I guess. I will see you all on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Until then, please take care of yourselves and I'll see you. Bye bye.